Diver's dream. A tugboat is a very strong boat. It often pulls bigger boats along. Tug is another word for pull. Tugboats are sometimes called tugs for short. This tugboat is called the Taomi. In the past, it carried heavy loads and towed many boats. It pulled many big ships in and out of harbors. The Taomi became old and rusty. No one wanted it anymore. A businessman saw the Taomi in the harbor and had an idea. He bought the tug for only $2. Another tug towed the Taomi for 540 miles to the bay where the businessman lived. He put the Taomi in the town's museum. People visited the tug for many years. Then the museum closed. Once again, no one wanted the tug. Saving the tug. A scuba diver called Steve saw the tug. It gave him an idea. He wanted to sink the Taomi in the ocean for divers to visit. A newspaper reporter wrote a story about what Steve wanted to do. Plans for tug. The tug Taomi has been in the museum for many years, but it may soon return to the ocean. Scuba diver Steve Wildman plans to sink the tug in the ocean. I want to turn the tug into a place for my friends and me to go diving. It will be a dream come true for us, said Steve. Some people wrote letters to the editor at the newspaper. Dear editor, I think that making the Taomi into a place for diving is a great idea. It will make a good home for fish. Ben Roberts. Dear editor, the Taomi should not be sunk. Why does everyone want to dump their trash in the ocean? Patsy Jones. Problem solving. Steve thought about all the problems he might have. Problem 1. Will the Taomi harm marine life? Solution. Steve asked some marine biologists to look at marine life in the area. This is what they said. Marine life will not be harmed. In fact, a lot of marine life will probably want to live in the tug. Please clean the tug carefully before you sink it. Problem 2. How will the tugboat be moved to the ocean? Solution. Engineers will help Steve to work out a plan. Problem 3. How will such a heavy boat be moved? Solution. Make the tug lighter by taking everything off of it. Cut out the portholes and cut off the top of the funnel. Problem 4. How can a tug be moved along a busy road? Solution. Move it at night when there are fewer cars. Ask the police to stop traffic and close the roads. On the move. 2 trucks and a long flatbed trailer with 128 wheels arrived at the old museum. The tug was sitting on concrete blocks. Workers put 4 huge jacks under the tug to lift it up off the blocks. Workers lifted the back of the tug 4 inches off the ground. Then they lifted the front 4 inches off the ground. The workers did this over and over again when they put some wooden blocks between the tug and the concrete blocks. When the tug was high enough, a driver backed the flatbed trailer underneath the tug. Then the jacks were lowered until the tug was sitting on the trailer. This map shows the route from the museum to the harbor. Kelsey Carter read about the Taomi in the newspaper. Kelsey's mom took her to watch the tugboat on the move. Kelsey wrote a story about what she saw. The Big Move by Kelsey Carter. 10 p.m. It was dark. The police stopped the traffic. 10:30 p.m. The Taomi began to move. 11 p.m. The tug reached a bridge that went over the road. The tug workers unbolted the bridge. A big crane lifted the bridge so the tug could go through. Midnight. A street light blocked the way. Steve climbed onto the tug and cut off its rails. The sparks were like fireworks. 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. The tug kept moving toward the harbor. 5 a.m. The tug reached the harbor. The driver backed the trailer into the water. The tug floated into the ocean. Another tug helped push the Taomi up the slipway. Steve and his friends cleaned the tug. They welded the doorways open so divers would be able to find their way around safely. Steve cut 4 holes in the side of the tug. The holes needed to be blocked while the Tayomi was being towed out to the ocean. Later, they would be unblocked to let the water in. Out to the ocean. 2 tugs towed the Tayomi out of the harbor. 1 tug pulled, and the other tug pushed. When the Tayomi was in the right place, the people on the 2 tugs untied the ropes. Steve unblocked the holes he had cut and climbed off the Tayomi. Water rushed in through the holes, and the Tayomi began to sink. When the tug had sunk, Steve and his friends dived down to take a look. The old tugboat that nobody had wanted was now a diver's dream.